Hi everyone, hope you all are good. We are here for grade 8 math. So you can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password is provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab, scroll down to grade 8 and then click on view all lessons. So there you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter Pythagorean theorem and the lessons we are going to. So let's just start with the chapter Pythagorean theorem. Okay, so let's just start with the lesson. Here I am on the lesson Pythagorean theorem. So let's just start with the lesson. What's wrong with this lesson? Okay, let's start with the first one, that is Pythagorean. Find the length of the hypotenuse. So let me just explain the Pythagorean theorem. And Pythagorean theorem is always applied on the right angle triangles, right? Right angle triangle means a triangle that has one angle that equals 90 degree, right? So here you have one of the angle is 90 degree, that is a right angle, right? Okay, so this is the base of the triangle, that is the opposite of the triangle, and that is the hypotenuse. The largest side is the always the hypotenuse, right? If you are given three of the values, the largest would be the hypotenuse, right? So for example, this is A, this is B, then this would be the C. So the Pythagorean theorem is C square equals A square plus B square. So basically Pythagorean theorem is the square of the hypotenuse equals the sum of squares of the other two sides. So that is C square equals A square plus B square. That means hypotenuse is the largest side, right? They always have the largest side length. So hypotenuse C square equals B A square plus B square. So hypotenuse square equals sum of squares of the other two sides, right? So let's just start with the practice questions. Pythagorean theorem, find the length of the hypotenuse. Okay, so you are given with the right angle triangle, you are given the other two sides, you need to find the hypotenuse, right? So simply use the Pythagorean theorem. Yes, so you have to calculate the sum of squares of the other two sides, right? So it would be C square equal 6 square plus 8 square, that is these are the side lengths of the other two sides, so that would be 64 plus 36, that means you have 100. So when you square root both sides, that would be just C equals 10. So you can see the side lengths, the other are 6, 8 and the hypotenuse is 10. Got it? Let's just start with the test questions. Okay, what is the length of hypotenuse, right? So just use the Pythagorean theorem. Here you have C, so C square equals A square plus B square. So A is 15, that is 15 square, and B is 8, that is 8 square. 15 square is 225 and 18 square is 64, that would be 289, right? So C square equals 289, so square root both sides. So when you square, that would be C equals 17. That means the missing side length equal 17. Got it? The correct option is 17. Okay, so you are given the side lengths that are 4 and 3. You have to evaluate the hypotenuse. So hypotenuse is c square equals a square plus b square. So for example, a is 4, that is 4 square, and b is 3, that is 3 square. So 4 square is 16, 3 square is 9. So 16 plus 19 is 25. That is the value of c square. You need to calculate the value of c, so just square root both sides, right? 2 and square root cancel, you are left with square root, that is 5 times 5 is 25. So that is c equals 5, right? So the correct option is c equals 5. So that means the missing side length is 5, right? You can see 5 is the highest side length of the other sides. The correct option is 5 feet. Now the next one you have to do on your notebook, and you can just write the answer in the chat box, right? Okay, that is what is the length of hypotenuse. You are given the other two sides, they are 6 feet and 8 feet. You need to calculate the hypotenuse. So which is the correct option? Very good. That means C equals 10 feet. The hypotenuse is 10 feet. Okay, the next one is, what is the length of the hypotenuse? So just put the values, use the Pythagorean theorem, that is c square equals a square less b square. So just evaluate the squares. 12 square is 144 and 16 square is 16 square, that is 256, right? So just add them. 144 plus 256, and that is 400. So square root both sides, then c equals, yes, that would be just a 10. So the correct option is 20 centimeter, 22 centimeters, right? Oh, that is 20 centimeter. The correct option is 20 centimeter. Okay, the next one is, what is the length of the hypotenuse? So how do you calculate the length? Just apply the Pythagorean theorem. So which is the correct option? Yes, very good. The correct option is 13 meters. The correct option is option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, again, what is the length of hypotenuse? So, which is the correct option? Which option is the correct one? Just square both sides and add them, right? 12 square is 144, 9 square is 81. So that would be 20. 12 square is 144 plus 81, that is 225. And square root 225 equals 15 meters, right? So the correct option is 15. Got it? The correct option is 15 meters. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. Okay, let's just move on to next lesson. Okay, the next lesson is Pythagorean theorem. Find the missing leg length. Okay, the one we just did is you have just hypotenuse is missing, right? Now we are going to learn if some other side is missing, how do we calculate the value, right? If the other side is missing, right, you have to apply the Pythagorean theorem, right? But just put up the values on their exact location and then do a evaluate and calculate the value of the missing side length. For example, you can see you are given the hypotenuse and one of the side length, that is 4. Okay, so you have to use the same theorem, that is a square plus b square equals c square, but c is the hypotenuse you are given, that is 5, right? So you have to do 4 square plus b square. You can see here b is missing, and then c is the hypotenuse, that is 5, so that is 25. So move 16 on the other side, that will be 25 minus 16 equals 9. Okay, let's just start with the practice questions. Okay, so you are given two of the side lengths. You are given the hypotenuse and the other side. You have to find the third side, right? So obviously we have to use the Pythagorean theorem, and the Pythagorean theorem states c square equals a square plus b square. But this is the value of c you are given, that is 15 square equals b square 9 square and plus b square, right? You have to evaluate for b. So move 9 square other side. 15 square is 225. When you move 9 square other side, that will be minus 81 equals b square, right? So let me just subtract. 225 minus 81 is 144, right? So b square equals 144. So when you evaluate the square root, b equals 12. So the correct option is b equals 12. So this is how you find the missing lines, right? You have to use the Pythagorean theorem because two of the sides are given. Just use and find the missing value. The correct option for this one is 12 kilometer. Okay, the next one is, what is the length of the missing leg? Yes, the correct option is 6 inches, right? The correct option is 6. The missing side length equal 6 inches. Okay, what is the missing side leg? What is the length of the missing leg? So which is the correct option? Yes, the correct option is 3 miles, right? So the correct option is 3 miles. Okay, let's just move on to next question. And the next question is, what is the length of the missing leg? So which is the correct option? Yes, when you evaluate the values, that would be 17 square is 289, and 289 minus 64 is 225. So the correct option is 15 miles, right? The correct option is 15 miles. Okay, the next one is find the length of the missing leg. So which is the correct option? So which is the correct option? Yes, the correct option is very good. The correct option is 12, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. And the next lesson is Pythagorean theorem, find the parameter, right? Let's just start with the lesson. Okay, so we are given, you have to find the parameter of the triangle, right? What is the parameter? Parameter means you have to see how much area the closed lines have collected. For the parameter, you have to add all the side lengths, right? So you are one of the side length is missing. Calculate the third side length and then add up all the side lengths. So basically, the triangle is right angle triangle. You have to find the missing side length using the Pythagorean theorem. So here is the missing side length, that is 5, right? Now you have 13, 12, and 5. So you have the center of length of all the sides. So for the parameter, you just have to add them. Got it? Okay, that is the first one. You have to calculate the parameter. So for the parameter, you need to all three side lengths. So just use the Pythagorean theorem and calculate the missing side length. C square equals a square plus b square. A is 5 square and plus b is 12 square. 5 square is 25 and 144. So when you add them, that would be 169. So that means the value is 25 plus 144 is 13, right? So that means the third light is 13. You have to, for the parameter, you have to add all the side lengths. 12 plus 3 plus 13. 12 plus 13 is 50, and 25, and 25 plus 5 is 50. That means the missing side length is 50. Basic thing you have to do here is you have to evaluate the missing side length. Then you just have to add. So the correct option is 30 meters. Okay, what is the parameter? Again, you have to find the third side length and then you have to add them. So let's just calculate the third side length. So for the third side length, you have to use the Pythagorean theorem, a square plus b square equals c square. So c equals 5. So it would be a square plus you have b as 4 and c square is 5 square. So it would be a square plus 16 equal 25. So a square equals 25 minus 16, that is 9. That means the other side length is 3. Now you have to add them up. So 5 plus 4 is 9 and 3, 12. So the correct option is $12. Yes, very good. The missing side length is you have to add them 5 and 4, 9 and 3, 12 meters. So the correct option is 12 meters. Okay, the next one is Pythagorean theorem. Find the parameter. So for the parameter, you have to add up all the side lengths, right? So just to evaluate the third side length, you have to use the Pythagorean theorem. So because you have to find the hypotenuse here, right? So that would be then c square equals a square plus b square. A is 12 square plus b is 9 square. 12 square is 144 and 9 square is 81. Just add, it would be 225, right? Now you have to calculate the value of c, so square root both sides and c equals 25. So one of the side length is, hold on, 144 plus 81 is 225. That is 225, but 225 is the square root of 15, so c equals 15. You just have to add these values, 15 plus 12 plus 9. So the correct option, 15 plus 12 is 27 and 27 plus 9 is, so just add, that would be 36 miles. So the correct option is 36 miles. Got it? Okay, the next one is what is parameter. So for the parameter, you have to add up all the side lengths. So just evaluate the side lengths. So to calculate the side lengths, you have to find the third side length. For the third side length, you have to use the Pythagorean theorem, right? So that would be, so which is the correct option? So the correct option is simply use the Pythagorean theorem and calculate the third side and then add. So 17 plus 8 is, the missing side length is 15, right? So just add 15 plus 8 is 23 and 28 plus 17 is 40. So that means the correct option is 40, right? Okay, the next one is what is the parameter? So just calculate the third side length and evaluate. So the third side is, the missing side is 10, right? 10 plus 8 is 18 and 18 plus 6 is 24. So the correct option is 24 yards, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. And the next lesson is, which option is the correct one? The missing option is, that would be 5, right? So 12 plus 5 is 17. So the correct option is 30 milliliters. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to the next lesson. The next lesson is, I think, the word problems. And you have to do the word problems on your own. So let's just start with the last one. Converse of the Pythagorean theorem, is it a right angle triangle? So what you have to see if it is a right angle triangle, right? How the triangle is right angle triangle, right? A triangle has sides with 12, 16 and with 20. You are given all three sides. So the largest one here is the hypotenuse, right? So the largest one is 20 side. So 20 is the uh, hypotenuse, right? Now just evaluate a square plus b square equals c square using these values. If both sides are equal, that means the triangle is a right angle triangle, right? For example, this is AB. So 12 square plus 16 square equals 20 square, right? So 20 square is 144, 16 square is 256, and 200 square is 400. So when you add them, you have 400 here and you have 400 here. So that means, yes, that is a right angle triangle. So what you have to do, if you have to check if the given triangle is a right angle triangle, the largest side is always the hypotenuse, right? Then use the Pythagorean theorem for all the three sides. The largest one is at the hypotenuse and evaluate the value. So that means this is a right angle triangle. Let's just start with the test questions. Okay, a triangle has the sides length of 5 meter, 12 meter, and 13 meter. Is it a right angle triangle? So you are given the side lengths, right? So the greatest side length is the hypotenuse. So 13 is the hypotenuse, right? So you have a square plus b square equals c square. So you have 5 square plus 12 square equals 13 square, right? So that would be 25 plus 144 equals 169. So when you add them, it is 169 and 169. So see, both sides are exactly equal. That means yes, these are the measurements of a right angle triangle. Got it? The correct option is yes, it is a right angle triangle. Okay, a triangle has the side lengths. A triangle has side with length of 8 yards, 15 yards, and 17 yards, right? So that means 17 is the hypotenuse. So it would be 17 square equals 8 square and plus 15 square, right? So 17 square is 289, 8 square is 64, 15 square is 225. So when you add here, you have 289 equals 289. So both sides are exactly equal. That means yes, that is a right angle triangle. Got it? The correct option is yes. Okay, the next one is a triangle has sides with length of 11 feet, 15 feet, and 17 feet. Is it a right angle triangle? Okay, use your notebook and pencil, check and let me know if it is a right angle triangle, right? I think no, this is not a triangle, right? The correct option is no, this is not a triangle. Okay, the next one is a triangle has side lengths of 3, 4, and 5. Is it a right angle triangle? So, which is the correct option? Okay, so the yes, it is a right angle triangle. The correct option is yes. Got it? Okay, the next one is a triangle has the side lengths with 3 meter, 3 meter, and 5 meter. Is it a right angle triangle? Which is the correct option? Yes or no? No, this is not a right angle triangle, right? You can check using the Pythagorean theorem. So the correct option is no, this is not a right angle triangle. Okay, the next one is a triangle has the length, side lengths with 9, 12, and 15. Is it a right angle triangle? So which is the correct option? The correct option is yes, it is a right angle triangle, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we were working on grade 8 math. Chapter we're working on is Pythagorean theorem. The lessons we have covered today are Pythagorean theorem, find the length of the hypotenuse. Then you have Pythagorean, find the missing length, leg length. Pythagorean, find the parameter word problems you have to do on your own. And converse of Pythagorean theorem is a right angle triangle, right? So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we did today. So if you need more help with any of the lesson, you can contact any tutor on the Skype. They are available from Monday to Friday, 5 to 9. Or either you can join me in the interactive session that would be daily from 4 to 5 and from 9 to 10. So if you have any questions, you can please ask. We still have 3-4 minutes left. So if you have any question, you can please ask. No questions? Okay, then that's all for today. See you in the next session. Bye, everyone.